Welcome back, YouTube. This is KRoad17 with a brand new F1 2019 video, career mode. We have graduated from F2 and we've somehow won the championship, but we are here in Australia. We have signed with our new team, Alfa Romeo, so we are going to try to put on the best show for the team, try to get this car, upgraded, because this car actually is second to worst currently.
Welcome to Melbourne and the inaugural event of the F1 2019 Championship season. The session is starting shortly and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. A feeling that anything can happen this year, and if it does, well, this weekend could be the opening chapter to one of the most exciting F1 seasons ever. Joining me in the commentary box is, of course, Anthony Davidson, and it's great to have you back again. What can you tell us about this year's roster? There are some new faces this year, aren't there?
Absolutely, Crofty. There's been a number of interesting signings over the last few months. Where would you like to start? Right, well, this is definitely someone to keep an eye on. Well, they've been signed up likely in no small part due to the way they carried themselves in the Formula 2 Championship. They have a great track record of putting the team first. At one of the races, they even gave up their own position when their car had a technical issue, so that their teammate Lucas Weber, who also debuts here today, could get ahead. That kind of team spirit could take them a long way this season.
Those two aren't the only new faces from Formula 2 this season, are they?
No, this season will introduce fans to George Russell and Lando Norris, two very promising young British drivers. Plus, we'll meet Alexander Albon from Thailand, and finally, Devon Butler. Now, Devon was a bit of a controversial figure in Formula 2 last year. He racked up a lot of penalties over the course of the season, including one where he collided with his closest rival. It was an arsey clip. Now, certainly after the event, they were nothing but professional in terms of how they spoke about the incident with Devon, but it's hard to imagine them being as polite about it behind closed doors. I think this rival will be one to keep an eye on over the next few races, as both drivers take their first steps into the world of Formula 1.
Controversial is an understatement, I think, as a word with Devon Butler, but here we are jumping into practice, getting the feel for the car. The car seems very understeery. I know a lot of the F1 community has talked about how this car, this season, this entire game, every car feels understeery. So out here for a bit of practice, doing a little bit of laps, getting the tires warmed up, seeing what this car is capable of. Now, I did pass all of the practice programs to get the upgrade points for this car. I'm going to try to get this car upgraded, try to get it to the front, try to score points, maybe titles, maybe championships for Alfa Romeo, as I believe that they belong there. But nevertheless, we are going to move on to qualifying in just a bit.
We're just about ready to kick off today's qualifying here in Melbourne. It's the Australian Grand Prix. I want to talk briefly about the strategy in these qualifying sessions. Anthony Davidson, how can a driver adjust their approach to gain those critical extra tenths of a second?
Well, qualifying isn't about adjusting your approach necessarily. It's more about trying to repeat a low fuel run that you've practiced prior to this session. You're looking for perfection on the lap, and that's hard to achieve if you're trying something new. There are some variables that can stand in your way, however. Track position or unexpected yellow flags, for example. Coupled with ever-changing track conditions, it's important to be out there at the right moment. But as a driver, you have to try and ignore these distractions and just keep your mind focused on that one perfect lap.
So as you can tell, we are into qualifying. I cannot put a lap in. We are oversteering, we are invalidating laps, so this is our last-ditch effort to get ourselves into Q2. Can we do it? We are going to cross the start-finish line, and no, we can't do it. So I go for another one, and I locked up. I could not get the feeling of this car this weekend. So I park it in the grass, and that's it. We are stuck in P20 for the Australian Grand Prix. Not exactly where I wanted to be, but everything to play for, everything to gain. We are going to do our best. But here is the results. Lewis Hamilton for Q1. Now this is Q1. But notice, Max Verstappen tries to get through Q1 on a set of mediums and is knocked out of Q1.
New drivers, new cars, it's a new Formula One season. But it's the same Albert Park that we've come to know and love for more than 2 decades now that plays host to round 1 of a 21-race championship that takes us from here in Australia across the globe and the eventual season finale at the Yas Island circuit in Abu Dhabi. Just south of Melbourne's downtown business centre is the one and only Albert Park circuit. 3.3 miles of public roads, closed for the weekend of course, make for a bumpy circuit with little undulation. There are 16 corners around the lake and a couple of good passing opportunities here as well, thanks in part to the DRS zones into turns 1, 3 and 13. We have plenty of changes to the sport this year with tweaks to the regulations, a fresh-looking spread of tyre compounds, and of course some changes to the roster of car manufacturers. It's goodbye to Sauber and hello once again to the classic name of Alfa Romeo in Formula One. It's also goodbye to Force India. They've been rebranded as Racing Point. Joining me to take you through all the action of the 2019 Formula One season is Anthony Davidson. And it's great to have you with us.
Thanks, Crofty. Always happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to getting underway. Last year was Mercedes' 5th Constructors' title in a row, although for the first half of the season it was absolutely neck and neck with the Ferraris. Hopefully this year we can see the chasing pack take that final step, as I'd love to see a championship contest all the way up to the final race in Abu Dhabi. Another story to keep an eye on is the performance of Red Bull, who have switched to the Honda power unit this year. What that will mean for both their performance and reliability remains to be seen.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Hamilton, Pierre Gasly and Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Grosjean, Magnussen and Lando Norris, Perez, Raikkonen, Lance Stroll and Butler, Russell, Verstappen, Lucas Faber and Carlos Sainz, Albon and Rose. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
We can do a lot better than this. Come on.
Thanks, Jeff. That is so uplifting. But here you go. We are in P20. We are selecting our race strategy. One stop seems favorable. Problem is here, I always do this. I overfuel the car, which I know wears your engine running it in rich, but we are so underpowered compared to the higher teams that I'm trying to get every ounce out of this performance that is possible in this car. But here we go. 5 red lights. We are going to be away for the Australian Grand Prix, our first F1 race. 5 red lights out. Here we go. Get a okay start, not the best. Coming down the line. Maybe think about doing a little. We go on the inside. There's Verstappen, who failed to make it out of Q1. We are right next to Russell. I believe, no, it's Weber. So we are right next to, oh, we see Butler. Can we get Butler out of this next corner? We go for a late dive on the brakes. Make it stick. A little bit argy-bargy, touching. Make it out of that turn. That might be job done, but now we're going to have to hold off Butler. And we are right behind Stroll. Can we make a move? Ooh, Stroll makes a move on Sands. Can we follow through? Sands gets a little slow out of that corner. Right behind Sands, pushing on his gearbox. Let's see if we can make a move. No, we do. Oh, late break. We kind of pipped ourselves in front of Sands. That might be a little bit of a cheeky move on my part, I will admit. But Butler follows us. He's right behind us. He's thinking about making another move. He goes on the inside. We leave him enough space. Take the corner as slow as possible so we can both make it through. We keep the position. But here we go. He's right behind me again. Can I hold him off? Moving around the last few corners of this lap. It'll be lap 1 in the books. We are trying to hold Butler behind us. We have Stroll right ahead of us. Let's see if we can... Oh, big lock up there. You'll get used to that. I've tried to get better at that. I'm learning no ABS. But down the front straight. Let's see if we can cross the line ahead of Butler. First lap in the books. We are currently P14. And we have Stroll ahead of us. Let's see if we can start mounting a charge and, work our way up there. See if we can possibly get ourselves into the points. That is going to be a tough challenge, a big call, but let's see. A little bit of a lock up there. We do seem to have a little bit more speed through these slower corners than the AI do. But in the front straight, as you'll see guys later on in the episodes, this car is so not with the power right now. Here we go though, taking these corners as quick as I can, trying to catch that toe off of Stroll. Gonna do you guys a little bit of a favor right now and just quiet up and let you guys listen to this engine on the Alfa because I think it sounds amazing. Coming to the last few corners to finish lap 2. As you can see, Lewis Hamilton is going to set the quickest time of the race so far, and you guys are going to see firsthand how slow this car is in a straight. I couldn't even keep up with the AI. But we are slowly working our way up to Stroll. We jump on board here. Stroll is right on the back of, I can't tell who that is. But we do have Verstappen right behind us. Now, I know he's a lot quicker. He's in a quicker car. I do not want to ruin my race. Kimi's actually right in front of Stroll now. I can see it. But Verstappen is right behind us. He's going to look for a move. I'm not going to do too much to hold him up. He looks for the outside. Just tongue-in-cheek moment there. Try to get through these corners. And here I know he's going to have a lot more of a powerful car to overtake me. Dives for the outside. Then switches back and goes on the inside of me. And it gives us a nice little cheeky brake check for our troubles. He gets really slow on that exit. But he does make it through and slows me up a little bit. But let's go and look at another replay of this. Here he comes. Thinks about the outside a little bit. I make the car as wide as I can so he can't get around. But this is where I knew I was doomed. He's going to have DRS and in a lot faster of a car. Thinks about the outside. Cuts it in the inside. And gets around us. I kind of did let him go, but he brake checks us just in time for us to give a little look. Say, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Back on. Verstappen is ahead of us now. And he is slowly catching Stroll, I believe. Makes the job easily done. Which should be because he is in a Red Bull compared to the Racing Point. Racing Point in real life is not doing the greatest this season. But let's see if we can hang along with Stroll here. DRS is inactivated. Verstappen actually catching my teammate Kimi. Kimi has really fallen off in this race. I think the performance of the car, the one I'm struggling with, he is starting to struggle with because he did qualify P12, I believe it was. But here we go. Trying to hold on to the back of Stroll. Verstappen all over the back of Kimi. I think Kimi might be doing us a favor here and holding Verstappen up. Stroll and myself are still within that toe. Stroll a little slow onto that corner. Can I get the better part run on him? He's slowly pulling away as he will in this race.
Right, we think the car behind might start to have fuel management issues. Let's see if we can use this to our advantage over the next few laps.
We do get DRS on Stroll, but Butler has fuel problems. Let's see if we can work that on an advantage and pull a gap with him. Stroll really slow through that corner. Can I make a look? I do, but I think better of it. Coming down, let's see if we can make a little look for the left-hander. He's just too far ahead of us. We jump back on board. Stroll looks for a look on Kimi. Maybe makes the job done. Pushes Kimi wide a little bit. Looks like we are going to be neck and neck with our teammate in a couple corners. Stroll does move around Kimi. Make that still locking up. Still getting used to the car. Gets a little squirrely out of that corner. But we are going to pull up with our teammate Kimi. Let's see who has the better pace today. This is going to be quite the battle between myself and my teammate as we are fighting for dominance in the Alfa Romeo suit. But Kimi is still on the back of Stroll. Let's see if we can catch up to these two. Butler is still right behind me, so that gap I'm trying to pull while he's managing his fuel is not working. Still locking up, not doing any favor to the tires whatsoever. Through these corners, I noticed in this season You really have to kind of lift off in this corner. Otherwise, if you carry the speed, the understeer is going to put you right into the wall. But we are catching our teammate. We are catching Stroll, sticking with him. Butler slowly pulling behind with the slower corners. We do have the momentum through there, but on these fast straights, he's not too far behind. But Kimi right there. Stroll is right there. That is P14 and 13, I believe. Kimi looking for a move. Oh, it gets really slow. I have to lock it up. And to the DRS.
They have some kind of mechanical problem.
Albon suffering from mechanical problem. That might help us in the long run. I think he is either ahead of us or behind us. Either way, it might cause a safety car. But still, right behind Kimi. Can we make a look for the... No, we think better of it. Lock the tires up. Coming around to DRS. Let's see if we can get a run on Kimi. DRS is open. Kimi is right in front of us. Let's see if we can get a run on him. The power on this car. See, I don't know what's down in my setup. But Jeff calls me into the pits this lap. But I actually believe I extend my pit by another lap because Kimi's right in front of me. But here we go, losing. It's just the straight line speed. I cannot keep up with these guys in this race. Through these slower corners, I can, pull the toe a little bit and get right behind them. But as you see, Butler is still right behind us, so I have to worry about him. Our old F1 foe. Through these slower corners, trying to keep within that toe. Kimi's car seems a little better set for the high speeds. Whereas mine seems better for the lower end. But locking up is not helping us. Get a good run out of there. Trying to keep that gap between me and Butler. Trying to keep with Kimi and Stroll.
Pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach.
Never mind that, Jeff. We have DRS on Kimi. Can we make a move? Kimi puts his car on the inside, makes his car really wide. So we think better of it, and we side them out, make a move. Kimi locks up and gives us a nice cheeky brake check. So, thanks for that one, Kimi. That's our front wing in question when you lock up. But here we go. I decide to pull it into the pits. I don't want to fight with these guys too much anymore. I want to try to get the better life out of my tires. Engage that pit limiter. Really slow entrance. Here we go. Into the pits we go.
Go. You'll be racing on the exit. Go.
On our way out of the pits. Get a little squirrely. Put too much power down on that exit. But we find ourselves in P17. Right behind Weber. Our teammate F2. Let's see if we can catch back up to him and pull that toe. Here we go. Pop on to lap 15. Still behind Weber. We have Sands right behind us.
Caution. The virtual safety car is out. Reduce speed and maintain a positive delta.
Sergio Perez is out of the race. We have a virtual safety car, and you'll actually see his car parked right there on the left. Let's rewind and see what happened here with Sergio. So Perez out of this race with engine problems.
Okay, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace. VSC ending, we're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
Trying to keep with Norris here. Back to racing. Lock it up right before then. I don't know what it is, but under that virtual safety car, I tried to keep the tires warm. We have Sands right behind us. Maybe looking for a little payback from early in the race. We lock up really hard. Can he make a move? We're going to try to make our car as wide as we can so he can't have a look. Hug it on the inside of this nice bending left. He looks for the outside. Doesn't do it. Am I going to be a sitting duck this next turn after the DRS? He's going to be right behind us with DRS, surely. But doesn't look like he has the momentum to carry through. So we might be able to hold on to that position as we are slowly catching Norris here. Can I get on the back of Norris and get DRS to help us fight against Sands? Down the last right-hander before the front straight. Sands right behind us. No DRS this zone. We are a second behind Norris. Can we pull that gap in? As you guys can see, my Delta keeps going red and red. Still learning these cars. I'm still trying to learn the whole no assist aspect of this race for this game, actually, since these cars seem to be very understeered. But like I said, we do seem to have the power. Last few turns of the Australian Grand Prix, Weber actually gets around Sands. Norris scooted off. Lewis Hamilton picks up the checkered flag. Here we go, the final front straight. Are we going to cross and pick up a decent, solid race for the team? We do.
Top job, my friend, top job. I was a bit worried about this one at the start of the weekend, but you pulled through. Thank you.
That's it for another Grand Prix and a fantastic win for Mercedes. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Lewis Hamilton takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Often my go-to would be a driver who's managed to pull off an especially impressive feat during the race. However, in this instance, I was more impressed by Max Verstappen's solid, clean driving throughout the event.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
So yeah, P13 from P20, that's not a bad race. Kimi only finishes right ahead of us. Let's check out the highlights. I'll end the video here.